So today's video we're going to be talking about correct position on the straight and correct position in traffic lanes. I'm going to use some really cool overhead drone footage for this one, and it's really cool because you'll see what correct position is supposed to look like. So correct position on the straight, we want to be center left. We want to be away from the center line. Not so much that you're on top of the path, but just center left. People tend to think that they're supposed to drive in the middle of the road. And if that was the case, that would be the same for the oncoming traffic coming towards you. They would also be in the middle of the road. So you can imagine if both of you are in the middle of the road, how close you would be to each other. And it would be pretty dangerous. So that's why we're always center left. So the best way to keep your position in a lot of time is just being aware of where the steering wheel is. Just imagine if you were driving down the road and you have the slightest steer on to the right, your car is just going to keep on gradually moving out into the middle of the road. And that's when you're going to say, oh, right, crap, I'm going to have to fix it, and then you're going to have to steer left and come back in. But then if you straighten up and then you steer out to the right again, you're going to just keep on moving out and having to keep on fixing it. And you'll be driving down the road, in and out, and it's very messy. The straighter you can drive, the better. So you have to be aware of where your hands are and where the wheel is, and just making sure you're holding the wheel dead straight. If you think you're holding it straight and you're still drifting out to the middle, just even think to yourself, I'm going to put the tiniest little tilt to the left on, and that'll be step one in keeping you in and straight. So another reason why you might be drifting out into the middle of the road is because you're looking at the oncoming traffic on the other side of the road. If you're looking out to the other side of the road, naturally your hands are going to just bring you out there, because your hands will follow your eyes. So wherever you're looking, chances are that's the direction you're going to go. So the best way to prevent that will be, you want to be looking where you want the car to go. So you want to be looking far down the road and looking at the correct position you want as far as you can down the road. That will help to keep you in. And again, your hands will follow your eyes, so your hands will bring you where you want to go. So look where I am here now. So I'm in good position, I'm away from the center line, but look at the guy behind me. Look at that black car there behind me. Look how close he is to that center line. There's no need for him to be out there. The only reason why he would be out there is if there's cars parked on the left, or if he intends to turn right. But I'm in good position, I'm centre left, and I'm just looking far down the road there. I'm just looking at where I want the car to go. So the next one we're going to talk about is correct position in traffic lanes. So correct position in a traffic lane is you want to position the car in the middle of the lane. People tend to struggle with this because they always seem to position the car too far left, and they end up straddling the lane. They end up straddling two lanes, and you have the left hand side of the car over in the left lane. Now this is very dangerous because a lot of the times it could be a bus lane on the left, and imagine if half of your car is over in the left lane and there's a bus flying up the inside in the bus lane, and they tend to use all of the lane and probably a little bit more, and they're going to drive up the inside and probably take the side of the car off you. The reason why people tend to be positioned in the middle, it looks like what they're doing is they want to position, they think that if they have the steering wheel in the middle of the lane, that will be them in the middle. But instead that's not true, because the whole left side of your car will be over here. So an easy way to kind of fix that would be, just think of your steering wheel being centre right in the traffic lane, and that will get the left hand side of the car over, and you can easily judge how close you are to the line on your side. It's impossible to judge over this side where the line is, and it's so much easier to judge this side. So you just imagine that you're positioning the steering wheel centre right, and then it's much more easy to manage. So you can see here, I'm driving up in the lane, I'm in the middle lane, there's a bus lane on the left, I wouldn't be out in the right lane because that's the overtaking lane. And I'm just positioning my steering wheel centre, and it's just nice and easy. Then I just drive straight up the road, and that's it. Correct position on the straight. It's a really hard one to explain because all roads are different widths, so it's really hard to say you have to do it like this, because what you will do on a big road won't work on a really narrow road. You just have to stay on the left hand side of the road on a really narrow road. And that's it. Correct position on the straight. If you have any comments, please put them in the comment section below. You know yourself, like and subscribe to the video, and I'll keep the content